Welcome to the Epicenter LAN qualifiers for the European region. We're in the winners bracket semi-finals with Danish Bears going up against Power Rangers to see who will advance, obviously, into the winners bracket final. I'm Toby One, I'll be your host for the English live streams tonight. If you already had the wonderful and the sexiest, especially in the mood in a lit room, Capitalist doing your Chinese qualifiers earlier today. You stuck around, you're back here now for the European version of it. I'm here with, I don't know if he's an upgrade or not, Cap had mob packs. I decided to have Ryu. At least he made his name simpler for everyone to follow. That's an upside for you, bro.
I know, I was doing everybody a service there since sometimes, you know, when you tell people how to spell it, you just instantly forget it. It's too hard to remember, so simplifying things helps out for a lot of the purposes. And I still like when people just call me Ryu too. So it's at the end of the day, I'm good with it.
Ryu? You mean I've always been screwing it up? What a surprise!
No, you can call me Ryu. No, I like Ryu too. I'm fine. I like both.
You're gonna be like Kuro. Kuro was always the guy that was like, man, like some people call me Kuro, some people call me Kurokai, some people call me Kuroki, and I really don't care. I like them all.
It's a cool name, like Kurokai. It's like it just reminds you of like like Kaioken and stuff from like Dragon Ball. Like when you say that Kai or King Kai.
It's got a more epic tone to it. That's why like when a lot of people like hit me on my pronunciations of things, I'm just like, you know, guys, like. I'm not going to care because it rolls off the tongue in the middle of a team fight. You are going to get the chills on your spine as opposed to if I pronounced it the other way. So sometimes it's just so much more epic to go with what I know is a mispronunciation. But hey, if it's a player's name and he gets
yeah, I was going to say that they were going to pick Elk. They always pick Elk.
I know Danish Bears have been trying some new stuff of late, but really? Really?
You're gonna see the pain that Alchemist can cause now, Toby. You're gonna see the pain.
Okay, explain the pain to me. Explain the pain train.
Alright, the pain train comes when you get that first bounty rune, and you're just already up ahead with having the poor man's shield at the beginning.
Oh, that's the old pain. That's the old pain of Alchemist.
Yeah, he only got 100 gold nerf, so he still gets, you know, about 300 there at the start extra, and then he also can, what he does now is he gets an armlet, and then once you turn on that chemical rage, you're immortal.
Alright, so he's basically pulled the same build that Resolution used to run on the Alchemist when he played at mid.
Yeah, you go armlet, then blink, and then into Sanjin Yasha.
Okay.
And you just go the fighting build early on, and there's no way they can really kill you, and that's just the sum of it. You're just hitting a lot harder. It's kind of like having the Huskar, but you're the one keeping yourself alive.
Okay. For everyone tuning in as well, I apologize for this part of it, but I can say welcome to everyone who is now watching the VOD, as I get to screw up for my first part of the game. I thought I started that damn thing, but obviously I didn't. Anyway, hello to everyone. If you're tuning in right now, which will probably be over on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/joindota, you're watching the Epicenter LAN final qualifier for European region, Danish Bears versus Power Rangers, game number 1 of this best of 3 winners bracket semi-final. I still find it amusing that, like, you remember just before the Dota Pit LAN, there was the big talk about, oh boy, like Na'Vi lost, how they lose to DB of all teams, like, come on, like this has got like relics of the past, right? These guys, they can't still play Dota, they play Dota 1, they got no talent, they're like milk, like you just can't expect much from it. But they 2-1'd Na'Vi, who had a decent showing at Dota Pit. Even if they didn't get past the semi-final, obviously with a single elimination bracket it was a lot more difficult, they still knocked Na'Vi into the lower bracket.
And they beat out Secret, so that was very fun to watch at the Dota Pit LAN like you're talking about. And yeah, here Na'Vi got knocked down a peg because of the Danish Bears. And also yesterday in the Star Ladder series, Danish Bears lost to Vega Squadron, so they will not be going to Star Ladder, and I'm sure they want to get like at least go to some of these different lands here for the Epicenter, and it's a lot bigger prize pool, and they hope they need to do their best.
There's actually a lot more riding on a qualification into Epicenter. Like, yeah, DreamHack is still DreamHack. It's still a great brand.
Yes.
But as far as the reputation goes, a lot more eyes are looking towards Epicenter. I guess $500,000 to start with.
Yes.
And it's also the birth child of the new VP owner. and everyone's like a lot more hyped, at least in that sense. Not to mention the crowd in Russia. Who wants to go to DreamHack?
That new stadium
all it's
too.
gonna be, it's like, okay, yeah, that looks freaking
Yeah,
sick.
looks sick. Yeah, they built it for Dota too. Oh,
yeah, that actually looks so awesome, but it can work for anything. That's actually the beautiful part. It looks like a more upgraded cybersports arena,
yes,
back where Starlighters used to be held before everything that went wrong in Kiev. Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. And we're going to have practically every top team there as well, I believe, either through directly invited or right here through the qualifiers. So let's actually start like going into more detail about the draft, as I think we've kind of like stroked that studio's shaft enough. Let's look at our draft. So we've got Alchemist, Bane, and Darkseer for the Danish Bears. So if this is going to be an early fighting Alchemist, what's the Darkseer and the Bane meant to do? Like, how does he promote this Alchemist to be the big, all-powerful mid that they're obviously banking on because they pick him in the first two?
Well, they picked out the Darkseer because they have the Earth Spirit, so he's going to be able to get a lot in this offlane. They'll ban out the Oracle, so that support's going to have to stay there, and as well as the Earth Spirit might have to rotate over to help him out. And the biggest thing right now for me is the Invoker plus Earth Spirit. Can they shut down this Alchemist in the mid lane, make sure he doesn't get that much farm? Because normally against an Alch, you want to apply heavy pressure before he gets at level 6, because he's going to get his level 2. He's going to start spamming out the acid spray, but you can put pressure on him in two ways. One, the Queen of Pain is one of the best for just keep shadow striking. You can blink over the river and then kill the Alchemist, especially with an Earth Spirit. Or two, now they're going to have the Invoker. They're going to try and deny every single last hit with the Forged Spirits here from Arise, and they can get really aggressive with the Cold Snap. But Bane, he's just a hero here that's going to help out for maybe just zoning out the enemy offlaner that we don't know yet for Power Rangers. Also just a stable lockdown in the later game.
There was one thing I was thinking of when I saw the Alchemist come in. I'm like, melee versus melee can come back again, right? Against the Alchemist, even with like his toxic spray, whatever the hell that thing is called now. Acid spray, close, but no cigar. We could see the return of the.
It looks like a leaf in the portrait. Leaf spray. It just looks like
it looks like a
It looks like
it's toxic jizz.
Jeez. It looks like when a frog blows up.
This is a really bad time to like tell people that last night I kind of made a conscious decision that I would stop holding back at a lot of the stupid shit that goes through my brain. Like
I helped facilitate it.
It kind of got me in a little bit of trouble in the past. So best of luck, boys. We're gonna walk across the bridge and see what happens. But yes, toxic jizz from the Alchemist is now here.
Oh man, I'm gonna need a sock to clean all this stuff up afterwards, but
don't use a sock.
It's too much.
It's toxic, bro. What do you think a sock's gonna do? You use a lead bag.
Yeah, I guess you do need a lead bag.
Alright, so Power Rangers, they got some rotation to mid. I'm interested to see how effective the Earth Spirit's gonna be against the Alchemist. Normally that rotation in, like, you can kill the Alchemist off before he gets Chemical Rage. So, denial of farm, sure, but as you said before, the Alchemist is still going to have that, like, Power Rangers will have the problem with the Alchemist where if he gets a bounty rune, then nothing really matters anymore, because he's just too damn powerful. He can keep getting money no matter what. So does the Earth Spirit rotation in actually require the Witch Doctor? Is that even functional?
No, it's just going to be helping for bottom lane here. Witch Doctor plus Juggernaut. Going against what could be a Darkseer plus Spirit Breaker dual lane in the offlane. That could be very troublesome for Witch Doctor to stay alive because they don't have enough burst damage. And I could see the Spirit Breaker just living. You also have the Surge out to save anyone. And they're going to be able to apply a lot of pressure. Just only thing right now that helps with the Paralyzing Cast is against those creeps with the Ion Shell, but Juggernaut's still going to have to be in melee range to kill the creeps, as well as he spins just for the CS early on, then they can start making those plays. So I'm a little bit worried for Power Rangers in their safe lane if Danish Bears are able to play really aggressive and start getting the kills.
know, I'd almost want to see Power Rangers like pick something like a lone druid, run it safe lane, and have the Witch Doctor of the Juggernaut in the off lane as a duel.
That doesn't sound that bad. Toby's not crazy, guys. That doesn't sound bad.
I have legitimate thoughts about the game of Dota.
Problem is the charge. You have to.
Yeah.
in
That's kind of your primary problem, but at the same time, like if it is a Spirit Breaker and a Darkseer on the bottom lane, you just stay behind the tower, you let the bear do most of the work. If they go up to the top lane, great. But right now I kind of feel like Danish bears are going to win almost every single lane, especially when they start rotating with high levels of Iron Shell and Spirit Breaker. And they actually go for a more greedy and controlling, which is the Doombringer. Devourer and Hand of Midas isn't bad against Darkseer's Iron Shells, but
I think the biggest thing is Doom just trying to shut down the Alchemist, even the Ember Spirit. Right now, Danish Spirits have 2 really strong cores, and they're going to have to find a way to disable them. If you can catch the Alchemist without his Chemical Rage on, that should be an easy kill, but the cast animation of Doom, not the best. Normally you'll be able to get it off in time, but they have a way to now catch the Ember Spirit, in my eyes. Maybe a kick into a Doom or something, but maybe I would like to see the Beastmaster a little bit more. So this Ember Spirit last pick for me, it's doing work because like I said, they just don't have enough catch.
Yeah, I agree. It's something which they knew they were going to draft themselves into. Like you pick up an Earth Spirit as well as a Witch Doctor. Like the lane presence is really good from these guys.
Yep.
But it's kind of funny because you're running a lineup with a Witch Doctor where your only big teamfight control comes from, well, one, the Witch Doctor with his paralyzing cask, and 2, the Earth Spirit. That's it. So you don't get like this long duration death wall that you know is going to go to work. So this Witch Doctor, like I'm almost expecting him to go like early points up in Malediction, even though the combination with Healing Ward as well as Voodoo Restoration is really, really nice. I'm just feeling right now like Power Rangers need to find a way where they can create action in the lanes.
They're able to kill off the Alchemist.
Whoa, Ryu, what did you do to yourself?
Oh, did something happen?
Yeah, you might just distorted crazily for a moment, but you seem to
Crazy?
be back now. Yeah, you're back now. You're good.
Okay.
But
Hit the cable.
no, you're screwing with your microphone itself. Like that's not even an internet connection. That's a connection into your PC.
I don't even know what's going on. But as long as it's fine, I'm happy. I won't even budge.
Yeah, don't move. You're gonna be like what I cast with Slash. And we're going back a while.
That guy
Slash
has like the deepest quiet voice, and it's just like.
He's also got a crazy knowledge of Dota and understanding mechanics and China especially. But his microphone was always terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yep.
And because he had to wear it like as a headset with his glasses, things always got really uncomfortable. So he'd have to move it every now and then. So you'd feel this budge coming out. It was always kind of funny.
I thought you were gonna say a bulge, Toby.
You didn't have to take
we're gonna be in for a lot
of go that way, Ryu.
I mean, we've already talked about all the stuff that can happen with toxicity. So you just have to, all the corners. You gotta make sure you touch base with them.
30 seconds to battle.
Alright, so what are we going to look for? Early rune contest actually going to happen. The bottom rune is actually the one which isn't being contested at all. Goddamn, PR won't want to fight without the damage from his Blade Fury. Like, potentially they could try and go for a kick onto a hill. They actually, okay, they're going to go in. Here's your Paralyzing Cask, fall forward. That Paralyzing Cask actually doing some work at Rise. He's going to go down. Cheshire Cat still trying to hang around for this rune. Rise one more attack before he dies, and there she blows. And it will be the Doombringer and the Earth Spirit. Sorry, the Doombringer who actually gets one of the runes. The Darkseer gets the other one. And the Earth Spirit gets the first blood on the Bane. That went a lot better than I thought it was going to without the support of the Juggernaut.
Yeah. No Iron Shell, and then obviously the Alchemist only has the right clicks there because he got the Grievel's Greed. So they didn't have that much to offer either on the other side. But
here we go again with the Grievel's Greed up. He's got no Ice Spray, he's got no Concoction. It's just pure harassment at the moment. Trying to push Ping off this lane. With the PMS, like, Arise doesn't do that much damage. All he's got is Cold Snap, and the Earth Spirit's not really that much of a threat until he's got Kick Up.
They need, yeah, more exort levels right now into Arise. Then you can start having the Forge Spirit, negating some of that armor, as well as just the additional right clicks can help out. So, Penguin check. I think that's how you say his name, as I casting him the other day, and
I was gonna ask you, like how do you want to say that?
Yeah, Penguin. I call him Penguin. So if you wanna,
Penguin's a pretty cute name.
yeah,
I can go with that. Penguin's a pretty cute name.
win, but it's Penguin. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, this is where the action should
going
come out.
again. Middle lane under the acid spray. They still have a crack at this one. Bignum doesn't have his level 2 just yet with Tornado. They actually end up killing off a creeps now. He's actually got a kick option available.
Nice.
And that'll go into the Alchemist. They'll consume the Fairy Fire. Charge coming forward, and Bignum, he hasn't finished the job.
Oh.
He's actually going to get the kill just before the Alchemist dies. The Alchemist does not get the experience for it. So it will be a 1-for-1 trade-off, but the experience goes the way of PR and not the way of DB.
And he's just getting absolutely demolished in this mid lane. And surprising enough, Arise went for the Tornado. So it's going to be a Quaz Wex. Going to be putting a lot of pressure. And lucky devil you could regen rune at the 2-minute mark. Penguin is going to have a horrible time down here in the mid lane. He could go down again. Nice kickback. And they're going to burn all of his mana.
So got a little bit left. Dashia Cat though coming in with that Infernal Blade. He'll die from the fall of Tornado, and now Noya's in a little bit too far too, but there's no real control abilities left. And they're still underneath the Acid Spray. That's a Doombringer who's got no real armor to speak of.
This Alchemist is just crippled ever since the beginning of the game. Not having that rune, constantly camped middle now. And what Danish Bear wanted to do was pressure the offlane with their Spirit Breaker, but now Noya is going to have to be on babysit duty, and this icing on the cake is when you have your offlane Doom coming mid to get kills. Already level 3 for him, for Cheshire Cat. This is all Power Rangers early on.
This is a good position for him. It's the laning phase, which I didn't really feel like the rotation would do enough of, but Venom reads the play perfectly, understands that Hester Joe doesn't actually have 1 Soul Ring and 2 Surge, so he's stuck here. We're brought down. There's that early malediction I was looking for over on J4. The ability for PR to actually find kills in their lanes. Up against a lineup who should have been able to zone you out, like having the Spirit Breaker and the Darkseer. We're expecting a lot more lane presence coming in from this. The Bane is obviously a great controller as well, but Rise actually went for Brain Sap at level 1, so it's like he tried to team up with Ace to get a kill on Cheshire Cat in the top lane. I know it got a little bit close with one of the engagements, but obviously they failed. And the lane control from DB is just evaporated.
And yeah, normally you pick the Bane because you want to have that stable support hero in the lane where you're able to zone out the enemy offlaner, but with the Doom, he's just able to eat a creep over here and then just farm up to his level 2 and then come in lane. Thank you.
You're doing it again with your mic, man.
Is it?
Yep.
Let me try and fix something.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
I'm gonna mute it real quick.
Cool, that's fine. Looks like we're gonna get to watch Rise have a crack at Cheshire Cat anyway, so Nightmare set up. The Scorched Earth's already triggered, and that's the level 2 Scorched Earth. So he's got a lot of regeneration up his sleeve. Ace, actually gonna get Infernal Blade, and now in comes Bignum. Boulders himself forward. I'm not gonna fight at opening, but at the same time, Ace is now out of his Flame Guard. He's already burned his Searing Chains. And Rise doesn't have enough mana to sustain this fight. They have to let it go. And now we finally also get to see Noya as well as Hester Joe teaming up together on this bottom lane. Just have to be careful of their positioning. Paralyzing Cast can still be a big problem for them. But this middle lane actually now where Bignum boulders forward, keeps him blocked, kicks him back. There's no mana to speak of. He's still not level 6, and even Rise being picked up by the Tornado and thrown down.
Bottom lane, charge in, and
Oh, that's
Hester
Finn.
Joe.
That's Finn. Hester Joe is like 1 hit away from death. Actually, the Malediction, it's not going to be enough. He's regenerated up just enough that he'll survive.
How do I sound?
Terrible.
Fine. Terrible?
You came up for a split second, but it's like your connection isn't solid. It's really odd. Really, really odd. I'm gonna double check as well, like my connection side here. So I think he should be good. Yeah. That should be-
Test.
Yes.
Is it good?
Sounds okay for now. Let's see how
Alright,
long it
that's-
lasts.
It'll
Radiant's
last
middle
2
tower
seconds.
is under attack.
As I sit back down.
Oh. Welcome back. You can watch the run on bottom lane. Big Num, of
And
course,
Big
though.
Num.
Have we actually seen Ping get a single bounty rune?
I don't think so. They've just been on their P's and Q's so far. And double damage invoker. Hello, Penguin.
And say goodbye to Penguin. Not even just a double damage invoker. It's the fact that you've got the control from J4 and the rotation from Big Num. The timing is just perfect. Every single time their rotations are catching the DB cores out of position in the lane. Like, it's not even just support pickups that they're looking at. Like, you're getting kills on Hester Joe. You're getting now an Alchemist who got 3 deaths out of the 5 kills that PR's managed to achieve. So DB, they get whatever they possibly can, which will be J4, thanks to the extra bash from Neuer. They're able to get that a little bit quicker. You've abandoned, what, the top lane? So you've sent Ryze to safe lane the top, Cheshire Cat into the jungle, and the Ember Spirit to join the off lane against Goddamn.
It's just when Ace gets like level 6, he likes to immediately rotate around and get some kills. This helps up free the leveling for the Bane so they can get level 6. But at the same time, yeah, it kind of hurts Ace because he wants to have that quick and fast battle or boots of travel so he can help out. Oh, he went for it. No, yeah.
Wow, okay. The slight distance advantage there for Goddamn, so he gets all 3 slices onto the Spirit Breaker. Hester thought he had a chance here, but now the chase will come out from Cheshire Cat. Ace has the malediction on him. He's still got Flame Guard available, so he's going to trigger that now, but Cheshire Cat will get 1 Infernal Blade here onto Hester Joe, and this won't ensure his death. Okay, it does. He still has a Scorched Earth burn happening, but Ace picks up the Witch Doctor from the back lines, but Cheshire Cat back again. The charge comes in from Neuer, pushing Goddamn away. He knows he's low, but the kick from Big Num buys the space. Goddamn thought he was dead to ride since he bought that Wraith Band nice and quickly before his death, but he didn't get enough, and now Arise, Tornado, Neuer gonna dodge, but Arise still has the Cold Snap. In with the EMP follow-up, boulder forward, Neuer's gonna go down, and the Ember Spirit was able to TP himself away to base.
Oh, Ember did come back here. They want to keep fighting.
The Spirit's forward. Cheshire Cat doesn't actually have his Scorched Earth, so Cheshire Cat will die. You kicked it a little bit too late there from Big Num to buy any kind of space.
No, that's really good. Ace is on a killing spree now. They need all the help they can get from the side of the Danish Bears. As in mid lane, he has a hate spoon. He should be able to get away from this.
Cold Snap, Malediction. I don't think he can, man. He's taking too much damage already. Chemical Rage or not. Tornado's a little bit off target, but you're pumping out urns as well. Oh god, that Chemical Rage, that was so good. It's been a while since I cast Alchemist. I forgot just how bloody good that thing is, especially against Malediction with the way it functions mechanically.
J4, double remnant.
Going on it. Arise with the Cold Snap though, and the paralyzing cast. Damn, that thing is an ultimate in itself. Neuer's going to burn down to the Infernal Blades. He's trying to run over to the Ancients to deny himself. Not going to be possible. But more importantly, Ace survives and he doesn't give away his killing spree to Power Rangers. And remains #1 on the net worth board.
They're going to have to rely heavily on Ace. Carry them through this mid game. And then now you have Ryze having his level 6 for the Bane. Maybe they can go for some plays on here for Arise because they need to shut down the Invoker. He's my biggest concern right now. He's 3-0 and 3.
They're hunting Ace.
Are they going to get it though?
They lost vision of him. The Observer, what they had planted, saw him Spirit back down to the bottom rune. And that was at the same time as Big Num was watching with Arise. But there's too much experience in mid lane. They would lose too much.
Oh, he just used his Blade Fury.
Gonna go with the Fiend Script. Witch Doctor, hoping the Paralyzing Cast will bounce up. It's not gonna do it, and goddamn, he's gonna go down. J4's gonna join him. Ace. Quick pick off, and the TP support gets cancelled.
That's what their lineup's supposed to do from the Danish Bears, to constantly run at you. That is what their lineup's meant to do. They have low cooldowns on all of their ultimates besides the Fiend Script. They're playing this lineup to perfection. Having this extra tower here is going to help out a lot, especially when I was talking about the boots of travel. It's going to be finished up here in the next 2 minutes, and when that happens, Ember Spirit plus the Flame Guard, on top of the Ion Shell is going to be joining a lot of team fights. They pinged out Penguin here.
Yeah,
Pinging the ping.
it's just Big Num walking around him. So much more. He's trying to flash farm up to this Hand of Midas build. Oh, sorry, you said armor build. He's got enough net worth. Yeah, he doesn't even need the Midas. Does he? He can still just go into direct armlet.
Yep. Not going to be stealing any CS there from Big Num, who would really like to have been there 3 seconds earlier. He would have gotten his level 6.
How lucky is Ping actually getting? Like, 1, he gets to stack, and 2, he's stacking up Mud Golems and then his status as well. He had a Mud Golem camp before. Like, this is the dream for an Alchemist. Mass units all get to trigger off the Grievel's Greed.
I see Joe doomed.
Again. With that Infernal Blade, Teshicat actually brings the stun in too. Hesterjo's got a lot of life on him now though. And with a kick missing, they're going to boulder away. Hesterjo will survive this doom. And Spirit Breaker charging forward. They're going to trigger the drum charge, getting Cheshire Cat back under the tier 1 tower, barely. The counter initiation failing. But it's still space created. A failed gap right by PR means more time for Ping.
Yep, and now he has his armament complete. He's not the best initiator on his team yet, but he will be. And as long as he has his armament, he can join the team fights. And I like what they've done on the other side of Power Rangers, kind of anticipating that he's going to be very hard to bring down. So they have 2 in Meldick right now. Ace, Cheshire Cat, he doesn't have Doom.
Ace should still have a defensive spirit up, so this kind of committal is not going to end with anything. Apart from just wasted resources from PR. If they didn't do it, then their top tier 1 town would be in jeopardy.
And they're camping this bounty rune. Nice. I think this will be the first one. We should have kept track more of this. What is that?
I believe it's actually the first one he's picked up.
A Rise could be picked up here. They have the ulti now for Rise. Man, this is gonna be annoying. We got Rise and a Rise. Oh, they scouted them out.
Anyway, Goddamn wants to have a crack, and Arise does see Rise. We're on the outside of the tree line. The EMP is going to take away a lot of his mana, and then Rise instantly scattered out inside the tree line. It will be the kill going the way of Arise, and that brings him just an inch closer towards that Hand of Midas. See, it's not that difficult, man.
The better Rise one. And top lane here, we got Ember Spirit free farming away. Has his boots of travel on the way. Now they can be around the map globally. This will be pressure now for Power Rangers. Have to be very careful. Don't want to have, you know, they don't get too aggressive from Power Rangers because they can have 2 extra heroes in the team fight. 1, the Ember Spirit TPing, and then 2, the Spirit Breaker charge. Here it is on J4.
Ace doesn't really have a lot of mana to work with though. But he actually can't use both Searing Chains as well as his Flame Guard. He started with the Searing Chains, but he's already lost Noya. With the Earn Charge on Ace, they keep the chase going. Goddamn, no Omni Slash available, obviously, because he used it to get that kill on the SP. But the Ember Spirit will get away. But that's wasted time now for Ace. But then again, it's really difficult to say, hey, PR, yeah, great. You managed to kill the Spirit Breaker when DB was looking for a bidding on you. But this Alchemist is now, it's crazy how much net worth he's been able to achieve. He's only just 2 points up in Grievel's Greed. He's beyond the top of the board.
It's just Alchemist things. Toby is like playing against a Shadow Fiend in the last patch.
They get small Mud Golems now, as well as more Sada Banishers.
Yeah, Mud Golem is the best. You get 6 creeps. It's an extra 120. They're gonna have level 11.
What's the build? You said it's a Blink Dagger as well as the armlet?
Yes, and then get Sange and Yasha afterwards for the extra movement speed and tank ability.
EV just saw that smoke. They smoked and they nipped the edge of Arise there. And the Dire Observer that was sitting in mid lane was able to scout this out. And that's probably the reason why Ace is hiding in the tree line. He's also a long way out himself. With their Flame Guard timing out, they're going to need to instantly get a silence. The smoke breaks, and they actually got it with the Doom and the Malediction. The only thing they haven't committed right now is J4's Death Ward, but it won't be required. Ace will tick out from this. So, a nice kill coming the way here of Cheshire Cat.
Mid lane. This harassment, Rise is going to lose half of his mana here. I think the biggest thing I wanted to talk about was
Radiant's
when
top
you're
tower
saying
is under
they're the
attack.
ones being the aggressors from Danish Bears, where Power Rangers weren't getting anything done around the map. Finally, they smoke up. They get the one of the high priority targets for the Danish Bears side,
Radiant's
but
top tower
now
is
it's
being
still
denied.
Danish Bears on the offensive again. 10 seconds up for the Ember Spirit, and they're gonna get this Doom. Fisher Cat gonna walk into them.
Yeah, surge forward, instantly into Concoction, turn the armor on and beat the living crap out of that Doombringer. I can understand why, if you look back at the history of all the teams that played up against Danish Bears recently, they banned the Alchemist in the first two. This is a train wreck. That's what it is. Like you managed to get like what 3 kills on the Alchemist within the first like 7 minutes of the game. Power Rangers did a lot to make sure he got shut down. And now, with just a little bit of spacing, Ping is not only being able to get like this farm up inside the jungle, but he's transitioning into these gangs with Danish Bears. And the economic advantage is still there. The Doombringer doesn't balance that out because Doombringers only ever go 1 point up and devour these days. So they're not pulling in huge amounts of money all the time.
Yep. Arise kind of felt like he was going to get pressured, so I think QO does this a lot, or MP I mean, on MVP. He goes for the Midas right after the Urn just so he can get up the levels into Wex a lot faster, and I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing in this game because you would love to have a Orchid ASAP so you can start ghost walking around and maybe killing off the Ember Spirit, because like we talked about, if there's no Orchid on the Invoker this game, there's just no catch potential.
Here they come. Rise of the trees, he gets the Nightmare off first. That's a goddamn with the Dark Steel Wall as well. Rise is still alive through this. They're gonna go for that silence, but nope. Rise he then Fiend Scripts up on the Witch Doctor, stopping any kind of death wall play. The EMP burns in a nice spot, but J4 still gonna go down to the towers. A 2-for-1 trade-off. Goddamn has to spin himself out. There's Big Num. Okay, he's gonna ball TP.
Dire's middle tower is under
But that's still a 2-for-1 trade-off, and it was PR who were the initiators, but they mass pinged out. Like, it was like 3 people actually pinging, trying to work out what the hell was going on. But by that point, they lost 2, they used their Doom, and they only claimed the Bane, who willingly stood his ground.
Really well played coming in from Danish Bears. I thought they would get more, but not having the mana there hurt them when they're trying to chase down the Invoker and everybody else. So, but now with all this huge teamfight items on, or spells on cooldown, Penguin looked like he wanted to go for the Roche, but instead they're going to go for the tier 1 tower, and it's really hard for Power Rangers to fight into this lineup when they don't have that Doom ulti.
Yep.
And like you talked about, he didn't get the Doom off on the Ember or the Alchemist.
Yeah, who did he actually get the Doom off on?
I feel like he doomed Darkseer or something when he used all his spells.
Oh, Malediction's really good on top of that Alchemist, but in comes the run, and the EMP, he'll burn a lot of the mana away of DB, but once again, they're just still very tanky. Neuer's going to go down, and surprisingly enough, Malediction does pop the Alchemist. He isn't able to survive through it. So Hestejo runs out. Another problem for him is after all that mana got burned off, he didn't have enough to use the mech. If he Soul Rings, he can mech at the moment, which is exactly, well, not what he did. He used his one charge to some mechs. But that doesn't help out, and goddamn, he wants to chase Rise. Could have phase boot. Actually, his phase boots were on cooldown at that point. He could have just spun himself forward.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Arise is just carrying all these team fights. He's mana burning at least 3 or 4 heroes every single time, and they just don't have enough to turn around because of that. They don't have the spells or anything capable. So really well played, and their chase potential is huge. And like you said, the Malediction, this synergy is crazy to think about. Malediction plus the Infernal Blade, it just seems like it's eating through the Alchemist's regen faster than it can repair it.
Which is a crazy thing to say, because like Alchemist regeneration is like the best in the game, right? Nothing really reaches Chemical Rage. Deshicat gonna find a target, zooms directly onto Neuer. Hestejo is surging himself over. He's got no mech charge available, so Neuer will probably actually tick out from this. They're not getting close enough to deny him. So Hestejo having that mech on cooldown means the Spirit Breaker dies.
And when you get those little pickoffs like on the Spirit Breaker, normally want to try and transition them into something else, but so helping out for the Doom, getting his Shadow Blade now, they're going to have a reliable initiation. So I do agree with that Doom. Even though they're not going to get an objective out of it, it still helps them get an item.
And so Ace got the rune he didn't want to get. He got the bounty on bottom. There was an invis rune for the Alchemist, which will make him a little bit more difficult to gank. Unless someone's bringing out reveal, but right now the only thing on the core is the end of that Shadow Blade for the Doombringer.
He could tornado off the invis if he hits him, so that's their one way of kind of detecting him
But
too.
Observer Ward, what a time to place it. If Noya followed through with that, and Arise, because he got a Eul Scepter, so the Spirit Breaker charge in now is no longer like guaranteed, and that ward's actually gone straight away. I almost wish like Arise held his nerve and stayed in the lane. Let the Spirit Breaker run out, play everything like he doesn't see anything. But actually, there was a dire Observer Ward that must have seen them go into the pit.
They also have this Sentry Ward freshly placed for the Radiant side because they knew that he had an Invis rune. So they could have potentially picked up Penguin if he played too aggressive there. But both teams are going to be content on backing up and farming. Ace just split pushes more effectively right now, and that's the thing why you go for this Doom with a Shadow Blade is, hey, he's going to be split pushing lanes, and if you get on top of him with the Doom, you're going to get some like smooth transitions into the Doom ulti.
Our Rangers, DB's definitely not going for Roshan, but it won't stop Arise from continuously scouting it with Sunstrike. But they're going to loop around. The Dire Sentry Wall's down, but Cheshire Cat gets past it. So he sees Hestijo, and there's the Doom again. They really don't want to have his Iron Shell in his back, so anything in the involved in this fight. Noya also caught out quite heavily. Rise, all he can do is just stand there and let the Fiend Trip go, trying to control her for as long as he can. It's just going to be long enough for the Alchemist to follow through and get that kill onto the Invoker. A big unstoppable streak being ended, but the battle continue on. Ace, so damn tanky. Even with the Magnetize turned on, he was able to burn through the Earth Spirit and then go for the second one, the Witch Doctor with the help of the Alchemist, who now actually self-stuns, thanks to the fact that he doesn't have a hero to attack.
Really well played, understanding even though they lost 2 heroes, they had their core still alive, no Tornado or EMP on top of the main heroes initiating. They blew up Arise first, that's the biggest play there. So no pesky Invoker, not able to live with Ghost Walk or any of his Eul Scepter plays. So at the end of the day, Danish Bears coming out ahead.
They always will be when they have time for Alchemist to farm directly after a fight. But he now gets his SMY up and running. I'm assuming in this game something like Assault Cuirass is probably the next best item for him.
Yep, or BKB.
Yeah, I can see how BKB would be good. Especially up against that Invoker. Yeah, BKB is really nice in this game, but a large portion of the damage is still going to come out from like Death Ward, the basic attacks from a Juggernaut. Like it doesn't stop the damage from Omni Slash.
Yep. The biggest problem is Invoker is the kite hero. Like he is the best hero in the game at making sure you're able to kite enemy carries if they don't go for that BKB. You have Ice Wall, Tornado, you know, just everything just kites the enemy heroes as well as the Euls too. So if he doesn't get it and he plays extra greedy, he's gonna have to hope that he has the perfect initiations with the unstable concoction on the Invoker, and so they can blow him up before he just start getting all those spells turned on him.
I was waiting for the next level prediction. I'm looking for the Observer Ward so Arise can try and Sunstrike the Alchemist when he's armlet toggling. Because he's walking back to base with practically no life, and a Sunstrike from... Actually, how many... no, it's only 1 point up in Exalt. It wouldn't have been enough. But they scouted out Roshan with a Sunstrike, and now they move in force. Smoked up towards the rest of DP. They're going to find Ping, and now Doom also. No Chemical Rage, and Ping will die very quickly. He also just picked up the Mithril Hammer, so it is going to be that BKB. And that also means he's got no buyback. Roshan belongs to PR.
I wonder if they should buy back. If he had buyback, would he, is the question. When you would have Doom on cooldown, you know they're all in the Roche pit, would you still try to take that team fight? Darkseer doesn't have his Blink Dagger. That's probably the biggest sign of they don't want to go just yet. So I agree, not going for that buyback, or even if he had it.
The thought is interesting, but
his hammer bot just kind of sealed his fate. But
yeah, they had no other choice but to wait because he bought that before the fight, before he actually got killed, I believe. So Hestijo back into farm world, and he will be able to pick up that Blink Dagger you're talking about in 100 goldish. So then you're going to have some really cool initiation coming out from him. Still waiting for the Earth Spirit to reach into his Veil of Discord. Orion is on his way towards the Aghanim Scepter House. Goddamn looking. Mana Style is completed for him. So Nightmare Control isn't as good as it used to be anymore, thanks to like having illusions on the field. But his next major item.
You don't have to worry about Alchemist Evasion or Embers.
You wouldn't even really care about a BKB.
I guess Scotty
game,
is.
would you?
I think Scotty is the best. Yeah, you don't really need a BKB for Gotham. Most of the Manta style will help you with the Searing Change. You can still dodge the Unstable Concoction if you're perfect.
And all the other stables penetrate Magic Community anyway.
Yeah, so this is probably the Scotty, just so you can stick on the target and they're not able to run away.
Yeah,
and
like
it gives
that.
you the good stats.
That's the survivability from the initiation. And you could always just have that extra help too. You can go for a stat lineup when J4 is going to have Voodoo Restoration and you got a level 4 healing ward already on the field. Speaking of J4, didn't realize how much money he's managed to get, but then again, he doesn't have that much. He's just being really efficient with where he's putting it. Everything is going into this Aghanim Scepter build up.
I agree. You could have gone away with the Glimmer Cape this game. There is a lot of magic damage coming in from the Danish Bears. They also, looking at the heroes, they only have 1 dust on the side of Noya. They need more detection. Well, they have a lot of sentries. These are good placements right now for the Danish Bears. On the ramps, just scouting out for the Doombringer. But eventually they need to invest into a gem so they don't get picked off by the Doom. And they're just scared right now. Ace, normally he would push out all the lanes by himself, but with that Doom having Shadow Blade, it's not possible anymore.
Yeah, the prep now coming in from the Invoker. EMP Tornado is up and running. But no one's there to defend.
They found him, up top.
Well, they did. Cashier Cap. Hey, goodbye, Sunny Jim. But now, the trade-off is going to be I have to push quickly. Alacrity's up on a rise, not even waiting for the creep wave to arrive. And just hits into that tier 1 tower. He's coming in to defend. They can't even push quick enough that they can stop. They can get like a trade-off for the death of the Doombringer. Ping is still skyrocketing forward with his farm.
Yep. I'm trying to figure out who has the better late game. As we talked about it here, Alchemist, we saw what happens when he gets doomed, or, you know, the initiation factor from the Dark Seer. It feels like then they just overwhelm with the side of Power Rangers. But at the same time, I think the bigger cores right now are still the Danish Bears just because of their net worth. They're farming way more effectively. Invoker transitioning into the later stages of the game, more spell heavy reliant than right clicks. Goddamn, he's not the best right clicker in the game. If they're able to have a wall, say, by them, or just soaking up the damage, he doesn't have like a Battle Fury or anything, doesn't have heavy right clicks.
I never really feel to like DB are gonna cap with their heroes.
Yeah, they don't really cap.
Even like they can keep giving all the money over to Ping. Like he can give Aghanim Scepters to every single person. Like the only person who doesn't benefit is the Ember Spirit.
Hey, he benefits because he gets those stats. That's the one thing. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but to have like a buffed up Fiend's Grip or have Dark
Get
Seer.
6 Fire Remnants. That would be.
That would be OP. But he would never build negatives anyway. It would be like one of those useless Aghanims upgrades we kept getting, like last year. And I have a new Aghanims upgrade. I'm never gonna buy that.
I mean, that's the goal for Ice Frog, right? Have Ags for every single hero, and like half of them are useless. So.
The brilliant mindset of Ice Frog. Alright, so now Power Rangers, they're gonna use the bottom lane as a pressure point. Back into the tier 1 tower. Now the Dire have no vision of this. Don't know those 3 heroes are over there. And Goddamn is playing very defensively too. So okay, now the ruse is up. No one from DB is coming to fight them directly until in just a moment. Like they 4-man smoke up. They already take out the tower, and now they back out.
Another thing to note is Power Rangers don't have a save hero besides maybe the kit coming in from Ursula, but if Alchemist uses his concoction, stuns, and then immediately BKBs, There's no way to stop him from just wailing on people.
Well, the only way is to have Death Ward being an intimidation factor to push people away.
Yeah, but Death Ward against Alchemist is like laughable because he's just like, haha, I'm so tanky. Got all this regen.
So then you kind of need to get that Scythe as the next major item over on the Invoker.
Yeah, I could see a Scythe. You might want to go for. Might want to go BKB as. I don't know.
It's again that position where you look at the DB lineup. Like, is BKB really worth it?
Is it?
With all the disables that are there? Like, I'd actually prefer a Rise. Like, a Rise is a very flashy player in general. He likes to go out and make huge plays. If he has both Yules as well as Side Device, he can do a hell of a lot more as a player.
Yes.
Cheshire Cat's going to scout out, has to Joe's the neighborhood. They're charging onto J4 with the Doom, instantly onto Rise. And Rise just running away from Cheshire as quick as he can. They have to deny him up, even with the mech, the Sunstrike is on the way. Rise actually dying as well, and okay, Alchemist will deny him up. So say goodbye to the Bane. J4 does survive at the end of the day, and that keeps his dreams alive, having that Aghanim Scepter. They're even buffing up J4 so he can get this farm.
Alacrity on your Witch Doctor. That's some funny stuff.
Oh, Ping knows he's got such an easy kill. D-Ward, the concoction flies forward. Now you're sent her up from a Rise. That BKB is still available from Ping. He's going to get stunned, balled, and, well, the attack will be there. But Hester Joe with a huge wall into a charge and the Nether Strike back. Even with the Omni Slash, they're grouped up and there's no big cleave. The last hit will come out and pick off that Spirit Breaker. But Ace is now joining the fight. Goddamn with a fast spin. The Spirit forward from Ace. He's looking for more here. Sleight of Fist and Searing Chains. Well, there goes just Sleight of Fist. Searing Chains is also up. They'll fall down into the cover of the Acid Spray of Ping. They're here for the tower, however. They've just taken a lot of life off PR that they can't contest it anymore. And Cheshire Cat wasn't even involved. He's back to mid lane farming. Without a TP scroll, I might add. It's coming on the courier.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It's just a useless hero once the Doom and the Scorched Earth are down. Can't really do much. And you just saw how tanky Alchemist is when he gets that BKB off. Really hard to burst him down.
That's what it's going to be like once he has the Assault Cuirass completed. At this rate, that won't be far off.
What does he have?
He's got the... okay, we're going to...
No, that's the recipe.
It's an Ace Daedalus recipe. He's got that in 300. And there it is from Ping. So he just needs the plate bell now. So, 1100 gold. Which doesn't take long when you got a double damage Alchemist farming.
Funny though, J4 still back at it. He had help there from World, got him. Helping out this poor Witch Doctor. Had his axe. Now he does.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dead?
No! Aghanims coming on courier.
Well, I agree with you. This Ags will have a huge impact in the team fights. I don't think it'll help out the Alchemist just because he's going to be so tanky. But for the other heroes, oh yeah, it can just spread them. Because that's what they have to do for Danish Bears. They have to get in your face and then just, you know, those paralyzing casts have been doing a lot of work, and then just thinking about the Death Ward. Might need to use a Fiend's Grip or something, or Ace is going to have to use his Searing Chains not just on core heroes. He just bought his data list. Oh, if he dies now, it could be game.
That Observer was giving him really good information as well. The problem is Cheshire Cat can't get close enough unless Ace will allow it, and there it is. Doom is up, the EMP, the back from Hester Joe might find enough space for Tornado. Up in towards the air with a deafening blast. Ace looking low on the Death Ward. The bounce damage actually helps to get the kill on top of the Omni Slash. The Sunstrike barely missing on Hester Joe. And Arise's mind presence in the middle of these battles is so good. They bring down 2, they could have easily claimed 3. Now they just go in for Roshan instead.
That's twice now, it's like deja vu all over again. You smoke, you find a pick off here in the bottom lane, and you just transition to that Rosh. So really well played from Power Rangers on their smoke ganks this game, just getting them the 1-up on the side of Danish Bears here.
I think they instantly want to turn this into pressure too. Like, that's why Rise already left the pit. Like, if they can attack into the tier 2 tower and bottom lane and actually get a map objective, that'll be amazing, but okay, they're not going to be able to. Thing already pushed in the top lane a little bit too much. This is the funny thing, like, you take a fight like that, Danish Bears, like, it only makes a small dent in their goal. Like, the experience is kicked back up, and it's going like a very obscure heartbeat. And slightly in favor of Power Rangers. DB still have ways where they could farm up
top, my bad.
huge amounts of money. Yeah, they're jumping on Cheshire. That's just mincemeat. Arise can EMP all he wants, but you've already got the chemical rage up for Ping. He can BKB if he needs to, and in fact, he'll feel the need to. Now Ember Spirit. Come back to the fight. Jump forward, a blink into a searing chain, catching up big numbers as well as Arise. Arise will go inside that Ghost Walk, and now with the Deafening Blast trying to push Noya back. The Death Ward is going to come out from J4, but it only really hit on Hester Joe. Ace will spirit himself away once and then twice. Spirit Breaker will still end up dying, but Ace is just so damn maneuverable. The Sunstrike! The creep wave is still there, the kick is off target, and now the blink is there from Ace. He's just too damn maneuverable. It'll end up being a 1-for-1 trade-off. Doomed for the Spirit Breaker.
Did they get the Aegis? No. So, a lot of good plays coming out there from both teams. That Deathport thought it'd do a lot more work, but you just saw how tanky the heroes were, and that Fiend Script coming in from Rise. Holden got him at bay, so he can't get into the team fight. All but ensured the safe retreat from Danish Bears. And what is your next play for Danish Bears to get back into this? I mean, they're only up 3k gold. They haven't really increased the farm. Alchemist, sure, he's building into Abyssal Blade now, and that might help out a lot just to secure some additional pickoffs by himself. But
I don't think they're even out of it, man.
I don't think they're out of it at all, but I want them to get more aggressive for the Danish Bears and not just let...
Do they have to? Like, you're still running a better split push lineup with an Ember Spirit. No matter what happens, Ace is going to be able to do his little split game. The high ground defense is pretty brutal when you've got to run into Acid Spray, a big fighting Alchemist, and the combination of Hester Joe, who's been pretty on point with his marks. And Power Rangers line up to push high ground. A lot of it you'd think it would come out of the Juggernaut, but he's gone for this, like, he's now actually gone for the Battle Fury after. He's really good at getting quick pickoffs, but he also can get munched up by the Alchemist. I actually think DB is still in a very commanding position where they control what happens in the team fights. The issue is when they do get aggressive, they get caught out, and then PR have an opportunity to hit back. And that's also the other funny thing. They keep getting caught out, but they always have like these even trades or like slightly in favor of PR or slightly in their favor because the Alchemist continues to farm.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, there you called the sheep stick. I think it's still a good item for Invoker just to catch out people. And it does fit Arise's playstyle. So, I agree with you in the sense that Danish Bears are still in this, and they're ahead a little bit when it comes to, you know, team fights and stuff. Because they have no really answer for Penguin right now, but still, I've just seen Power Rangers get the better initiation in all the team fights right now. That's why I'm a little bit worried from Danish Bears. They're not smoking up enough to where they're the ones being the initiators, but I agree with you. High ground defense for Danish Bears is golden. Acid Spray, Sleight of Fisting constantly. They're not really pressured to finish the game, but when Roche is up, I would like them to see them make an aggressive play.
Yeah, but that just means they play for the timing. Do what they did. Observer wards on top and below the bottom rune. They'll see Power Rangers if they try and smoke up. They'll see if Cheshire Cat tries to make a play with the Shadow Blade. I'm still in the court of DB.
Oh, I'm in the court too. They still have the Wombo combo here, Ember Spirit, or the Darkseer. They tried to do the Darkseer plus charge combo. It almost worked out, where he was able to get 3 stuns onto the heroes, but they still have the concoction to work with, so they can have, you know, a 4 or 5 man stun.
Yep.
And they're just out farming on their cores right now. They also have eyes on the rise because all these sentry wards are placed. Not going to go for it though.
And Noya actually pulled out of the charge. He had no one else with him. Ping was still farming up. He doesn't want to fight. He needs another 900 gold before he wants to fight.
That's a good question for them right now. Do they want to save for buyback? Oh, yeah, here we go from Danish Bears. Gonna group up. Aegis, is it down? Yeah, it should be down here now. So really nice understanding of the timing. Marked it, and here we go.
Yep, smoke gank it up. Arise is the most exposed. They still have this Aegis of the Immortal. Nope, sorry, I take it back. That was actually when the Aegis timed out. So my bad. I just heard the sound as well. It didn't register in my own brain. Ping, charging concoction. But look at what's goddamn. There goes the stun. He already uses Manta style, which means he's very much exposed. The Juggernaut goes down. J4's Deadboard will do some work. He's in the trees, but it's now TPing out. They realize the problem here. They've lost the Juggernaut way too early. They don't have his presence anymore. Cheshire Cat will also be able to scatter himself away.
Yeah, you saw that projectile, and I don't know if goddamn did he just waited a little bit too long there on the Blade Fury, and the Alchemist wasn't even blinking right on top of him, so if he had a little bit quicker reaction, they would have been able to...
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go for this.
No.
It's too crazy.
It is not a good idea. But they got the Lincoln Sphere now over on Ace, so Cheshire Cat getting the initiation over on Ace is really quite difficult now.
Yep.
It's the extra insurance you're looking for from the Ember Spirit, and they managed to be able to catch up Bignum. With a charge forward, the Sleight of Fist, the Searing Chain's timing was perfect. Noya's charge, maybe not so great, but he's still able to get that bash on Bignum. And Cheshire Cat's looking for some revenge. Ace, well, they managed to actually trigger the Lincoln Sphere, which allowed Cheshire Cat to get that Doom off, but the Alchemist, he brings down a Rise. And Cheshire Cat is chasing up after this Ember Spirit, but he can't get the kill.
Oh, Ember's dead?
Okay, he will tick.
Oh, it's not on.
Joe was too far away. I was waiting for the denial. That's why I didn't think it was going to happen with 4 heroes versus 1. Noya's got to get himself out there, though. The Doombringer's going to get himself a double kill. That's a unneeded death. And now Goddamn's going to go for more. He's got Omni Slash available, but they've got... Okay, they will use it. So it's a 3-for-3 trade-off will be the end of all of this.
I think it's about as even as you can get there. Trading the mid laners, kind of Ace going down, kind of consider Ember a mid laner here. And it's just no other things are going to be... If they had gotten an Aegis here for Danish Bears, it would have been nice, but that's not up for them.
You get 804 gold for picking up a bounty rune.
Jeez. What is it, 42 minutes in?
Yep.
He also gets the double damage now, too.
Double damage, he's got enough money he can buy up the Abyssal Blade. How far is he short? Well, he could do that anyway. He's got 3.1k gold surplus, which is now 3.5k gold surplus. Just buy the bloody Abyssal Blade. You don't even need to wait for this. Speaking of Abyssal Blade, with Juggernaut actually finding those kills before, he got 508 gold for killing off the Darkseer. So he's actually now afforded up his full Abyssal as well. But he doesn't have buyback.
That's a thing to note during this game is Ace has been using a lot of his money right when he has it, so he doesn't have buyback. That's why you saw him die in the bottom lane earlier, and it kind of transitioned to that smooth Roshan attempt from Power Rangers where they weren't even contested. And at the other side of things here, you also have the Juggernaut now buying it. So buybacks are always crucial at this stage of the game. But at the same time, if you get this one pick off because you purchased the Abyssal Blade, it can just be the game changer you need.
Hang on.
What?
Where's the money for... What did Ping buy?
Moonshard.
Ah, that's what he got. I'm like looking at it, I'm just like, I don't see a new item appearing, but he definitely got something. I was looking at it because like, it's got to be Abyssal, right? And I'm like, wait, did he get Aghanim for someone? No, it's Moonshard. Thanks very much, Ryu.
No, I was making sure you didn't go crazy either. It's weird for me though, he already has the attack speed from the Chemical Rage, from the Assault.
Yeah.
Him going for the Moonshard is a little bit questionable, but it doesn't matter. You get all the bounty runes, and that's the funny part.
Yeah. And still, if he wants to, in 1200 gold, he'll be able to get himself the Abyssal anyway, so yeah. Smoke movement from PR, and they put down the Observer Wards. They'll see Ping walking back behind that tier 2 tower. As DB, man, they really, they are avoiding this. And in fact, they're going to group up themselves for their own smoke underneath their own tier 2 tower. Roshan has spawned, so they can slip in and take him pretty quickly. The Rise has normally been pretty much on point, scouting that out with Sunstrike. Instead, now he's preparing himself with, actually, he's only tornadoing the mid lane. Taking away his life and pushing it out, so they jump in. Goddamn, basically all by himself. Does he actually? No, he doesn't. He can't get the Omni Slash off. Alchemist is not available, and they back into Cheshire Cat's the primary target, and a Rise being stripped up by Rise. He can't do anything. The Death Wall doesn't do enough work either. Invoker is basically being eliminated from this fight just by the Bane's Nightmare control. 3 heroes already down. They want to go for more. Rise will just scatter himself away. This is a huge disaster fight right now for PR. They lose Cheshire Cat as well. The Sunstrike won't catch out Ace. He'll survive. And man, big points right there for Rise for actually removing Invoker from everything of that fight. It was complete. It was net worth. It was 18,000 net worth that didn't exist in that fight for Power Rangers.
You couldn't say it any better, Toby. And I think another thing that happened during that team fight was Ace. He was casting his Juggernaut ulti, and then he just Searing Chains it. Oh, that's the worst feeling in the world. And you're just like, wait, what? It didn't go off, and then they were just able to perma-stun him afterwards, and he wasn't able to get it off. So that was the Ace and Rise show coming from the Danish Bears, and now they just take the Roshan. Now they take a lot of gold on their cores, and
it's the first major lead we've seen on the net worth. It's reached about 8,000 in the net worth. The experience as well. First time it's managed to crack the 5k mark, and it's about 8.5k as well, going the way of DB. They're going to hit a whole new power level now. Ace, he's got the Aegis Immortal obviously, but he'll die. Come back to life again. You basically got 3 Ember Spirits for the next fight thanks to buyback and BT forward. The Alchemist still has enough money for his bloody Abyssal Blade.
He doesn't want it, Toby.
They're being very safe about everything. Even Noya's buying up new items. He actually bought a Vladimir's offering for his team.
Ace is like, please doom me. Please doom me. I dare you.
Such a waste of an ultimate.
Yeah.
It's not even a guaranteed ultimate thanks to the Lincoln Sphere.
Now, speaking of Ace, as we talked about the money coming in from Alchemist, he has 6.4k, and he's in the Divine Rapier buyer. So, if you want to get hyped for that, guys, just start chanting it. No, he does it. He does it.
I'm not a believer in Divine Rapier for the Ember.
Yeah, Toby,
Hey, we've gone full envy when it's not even required. Hey, if he loses this, if someone like Juggernaut is capable of picking this up, it's only going to take one terrible fight, one terrible positioning from DB, even with an Aegis Immortal insurance package. Okay, when you do 1500 crits, I can sort of go with it. But, man.
He's just gonna buy back, come in the fight, and just pick it back up, just like Eternal Envy. Oh, I still remember that was big plays.
It's just the nervous factor.
Toby's more nervous than the players right now, guys. We need to get him some sweat pads.
So you do all the hard work, and then Ace is like, come on, come at me, bro. There's Tornado, so he's gonna lose his shield.
Why is it in Sheepstick there? That's their initiation.
Like they're just worried. Like if they can bring him down, I say what, with physical damage against the Ember Spirit, it's not gonna happen. Even if they do start that, then you're also gonna have like Nightmare protection. Goddamn, has to burn his spin really early on. Ace, now the Doom is used. This is on an Aegis Immortal target, and Ace is still physically damaging him down. The Death Ward's gonna go to work from J4 under the cover. Oh, screw cover! There is no cover! Ace hasn't even died from this bloody Doom. The Tornado will pick him up and throw him back down again. Now he's actually off the Doom. Slider Fist down. This game is over. Like, they have completely manipulated the balance of power. DP will be easily able to kill off goddamn Call the game. There it is. Game 1 goes the way of the Danish Bears. I'm okay with Ace buying a Rapier now. What he just did to the Witch Doctor. You can thank the gem as well that was on the field for DB. Silver Cape didn't protect the Witch Doctor at all, but it looked really good at the start, and then he just like sliced him to like hot butter with a bread knife.
That was chopping some wood with timber saw or something.